Run along now, those big get you gone now, have some fun this night. Come, come, come. Sing till sundown and feast with abandon. We'll sleep when the morning comes and we'll rise by the sound of the song. Come, 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 come along now. Run away from the humdrum. We'll sleep when the morning comes and we'll rise by the sound of the bird song.
KFC Famous Bowls are only $3, a whole pound of tasty food. But how? It's a famous pour of this, and some famous bits of that, and my famous chicken on top of all that stuff, and more gravy. KFC Famous Bowls, a whole pound of delicious food for only $3.
How are you a cop and yet everything you do is illegal?
What am I going to do? Arrest myself? I hear you're a wine guy.
You shouldn't have.
Oh, no, I didn't buy it. I swiped it from the evidence locker.
Just curious, these red spots on the bottle, it's not.
Yeah, it's blood.
Dad, do you slow down?
It's showtime.
Live news, scores, and highlights streaming 24/7. CBS Sports HQ. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Lowe's. And by KFC. It's finger licking good.
Back at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texans have the football and a 2-touchdown lead on the Jaguars as they move closer to clinching the division title. Fans have been into this one, and it's looking more and more likely that the Texans will have another home game next week in the wild card round of the playoffs. They can hold on here. Mark Miller on first down. And Deshaun Watson, well, he's been sacked more than any other quarterback this season. And he's taken some big hits today as well.
And you're trying to develop a pass game with one feature receiver and then a bunch of guys who are singing in the background. And that's really tough because they can't get open. They're not dominant players. And they have to be wide open for him to get rid of the ball. And he can hold on to it a little bit too much.
Watson looking to throw deep down the field for Hopkins, and it is caught. Did he keep his feet in? Yes! What a catch and throw. Watson to Hopkins.
Sometimes I can go over the top with how much I like Watson and Hopkins, and the combination is so great, and he just lulled Jalen Ramsey to sleep. He ran at him, didn't put a big move on, and then just burst right by him. And because he saved the sideline, made it a good, easy throw for Watson.
A 43-yard pickup. Watson back to the air. Has time. Now chased out. Takes a hit. Bounces off tacklers and brought down. Taven Bryan, the first-round pick for the Jaguars, makes that play.
Once again, scanning the field. Lots of time given to him by his offensive line. Couldn't get the guy he wanted, and you have to be able to get the ball to the check down receivers, the secondary guys. But he's so elusive in the pocket, he thinks he can get away from every pass rush each and every time.
And they give Bryan the sack, his first in the NFL, as we check in with Jay Feely.
After that last series, the big hits that Watson took, Bill O'Brien came over to his staff and his quarterback and said, we got to be smart. He pointed up at the scoreboard and said, understand the situation.
Yeah, which is why this is strange, because I don't know if I'd want Deshaun Watson running the football like he just did on that play with a 2-touchdown lead and a playoff game looming next week. What do you think, James?
Well, if he said that to his staff, remember who the play caller is. The play caller is Bill O'Brien. So he's the one who had him in the pocket going for the shot on the previous play to try and get the ball into the end zone. And that time, even though you got two guys out in front leading the way, I like what Watson did at the end. He didn't try and get the extra yards, 1 or 2 yards. He ran out of bounds and avoided the contact.
And now 3rd down and 12. Pressure coming. Watson steps up, fires towards the sideline. Vincent Smith, did he get that? He did.
That's a sweet catch right there.
Great catch by the rookie out of Limestone. It's now Bill O'Brien is going to send out his kicker, Fairbairn.
I mean, he caught that. The way he extended, I'm going, where's Hopkins in the dreadlocks? That had to be him, but nice catch on the sideline, getting those feet in bounds and dragging them as you go out of bounds.
On 4th and 2. O'Brien will try to add to his lead by sending out his kicker, who leads the NFL in points scored this year. And a 29-yard field goal attempt for Kaimi Fairbairn. The flag is down, and the kick is good. There's been a lot going on in special teams during this game. We saw a lot of action in the first quarter, and now something to sort out here with the penalty marker down at the 11-yard line. And the Texans are sending their offense back out on the field.
Remember, if you're jumping over, you can't touch anybody when you land on them.
Joe DeCamillis, the Jaguar special teams coordinator, with a puzzled look.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 91, defense. After this field goal, automatic first down.
It's on Ngakoue. And Bill O'Brien puts the offense back out there.
You know, the defensive players always get that little smirk on their face when they hear unnecessary roughness. That's our job, is that we're supposed to be rough.
Jaguars lead the NFL in unnecessary roughness penalties this year. Another reason for their 5-10 record and discipline in the penalty department. 1st and goal for the Texans.
Hopkins and Ramsey up top.
Watson looking to throw. Comes back to his right. Throws on the run, and it's dropped. So a moment after making a beautiful catch on a tough ball, Vincent Smith drops an easy one.
He could feel the end zone. He's thinking, I'm getting this ball. There's nobody close to me. I'm going to make this one quick move after I catch it. Make the catch first, then the quick move.
Second and goal for the Texans. Empty backfield for Watson. Watson dancing around, fires end zone, incomplete. Was looking for Alfred Blue, and it's 3rd and goal.
You're going to only have to rush 4. And when you rush 4, that allows you to have 7 defenders. And if you're playing man-to-man, you get extra guys in there who can just float in coverage and get the crossers as they're coming across the middle.
Deshaun Watson has great numbers in the red zone this season. 19 touchdown passes, no interceptions. The only quarterback with more touchdown passes without throwing an interception, Drew Brees, with 22. 3rd and goal.
Gotta hurry.
Watson to the end zone, and it is incomplete. DeAndre Carter nearly made an acrobatic catch, but now 4th and goal, and Fairbairn, the kicker, back out on the field.
You wonder if this ball is thrown to DeAndre Carter or DeAndre Hopkins, who are both in the area, and DeAndre Hopkins is thinking, you know, when I put one hand on, I always catch it. Boy, he almost comes down with it.
Carter in his 7th game with the Texans after he was claimed off waivers from the Eagles. And now a 24-yard attempt for Fairbairn. And his kick is good. With 10:52 to go, fourth quarter, it's now 20-3 in favor of the Texans.
It's the same color as downstairs.
It's called Tuscan sand. Let's show them the nursery.
Oh, great idea.
Escape the football at Buffalo Wild Wings and try our new game day menu featuring $5 brats, cheeseburger and fries, cocktails, and pitchers. Out here, there are living stories that never fade. Where personal triumphs are turned into neighborhood victories. Out here, legends live. And from one legend to another, we see you. The redesigned Honda Civic.
So, Lionel, what does being able to trade 24/5 mean to you?
Well, it means I can trade after the market closes.
It's true.
So all evening long.
Ooh, so close.
Kevin, I have your caramel brulee lattes ready.
Wednesday, it's a new year, and SEAL Team is back with all new episodes.
Talk to me. She's wired. She moves, we die.
New missions.
If you want to live, everybody stay in your seats.
They hijacked a plane to jailbreak for friends.
Manifest shows 83 hostages on board.
They want prisoners released.
If their demands aren't met, they will kill the hostages.
The U.S. doesn't negotiate with terrorists, ever.
And new love.
Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, you mean when you kissed me? That's pretty good, wasn't it?
All new SEAL Team, CBS Wednesday.
United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
$10:52 to go, fourth quarter. Texans in front of the Jaguars 20-3 after the field goal by Fairbairn. DJ Chark, who missed the last 5 games with a quad injury, is the deep man. As Houston looks to lock up its 11th victory of the year after an 0-3 start. As J.J. Watt told us, just to be in this position to win the division title on the last day of the season after starting 0-3 is something we're very appreciative and thankful for. And we don't want to waste the opportunity, and they have not, specifically on the defensive side today. Here comes Chark out of his own end zone. Chark across the 20. Still going across the 30, not towards the 35-yard line. Nice return from the rookie Chark out of LSU. Coming up next on the road to Super Bowl 53 on CBS, it's the second half of our doubleheader. Most of the AFC puzzle will fall into place with Baltimore, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, and the Chargers all on the field. It's coming up next right here on CBS. Antonio Brown inactive for the Steelers today, who need to win and need some help from their old friends, the Cleveland Browns, as the Browns take on the Ravens. And you see Houston in that number 3 spot as there's an injury, and it's Mike Tyson, the first-year safety out of Cincinnati.
Well, how the massage chairs working out for everyone?
I don't know. I'm still a little stressed about buying our new house.
Well, it's a good thing we don't have to worry about homeowners insurance. Geico can help with that.
We can get homeowners insurance help from Geico?
Well, sure. And they can save us a bunch, too.
Mm-hmm. I'm starting to feel better already.
Get to know Geico and see how much you could save on homeowners and condo insurance.
My mother passed in 2003, but she always told me, I don't care if you turn out to be a great athlete or whatever, but you need to make sure you get your college degree. Sometimes I call the house just to hear her voice.
Hi, leave a message after the beep.
Hey, Mom, this is Larry. I just wanted to let you know that I fulfilled the promise that you held me to. Love you.
Taco Bell invites you to a world
that defies all logic. A place where burritos are filled with delicious nachos or indulgent chicken enchiladas, all for the unbelievable price of $1. No, you're not having a delicious burrito dream. You're eating the new $1 Grande Burritos from Taco Bell's new Cravings Value menu. Value beyond belief.
I'm Ken Jacobus, and I switched to the Spark Cash Card from Capital One. I earn unlimited 2% cash back on everything I buy. And last year, I earned $36,000 in cash back, which I used to offer health insurance to my employees. What's in your wallet?
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. The Spark Cash Card from Capital One. And by Verizon. The best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network.
Texans trying to hang another banner. 10:44 away from winning the division title. Bortles in trouble. Bortles is thrown down. Carlos Watkins, second-year man out of Clemson, making the play.
When you're an assistant coach, you watch a ton of film, you think, well, if this happens, might get this matchup on the outside, work this guy in the secondary. You can't do any of that. You can't protect your quarterback. And great pass rush by the Texans.
First career sack for Carlos Watkins. Bortles over the middle, incomplete. O'Shaughnessy could not hold on.
Boy, Dylan Cole, he's thinking he couldn't hold on because he read that. He's in zone coverage. He's watching Bortles' eyes, and he's driving on it. He gets one hand in there. He's thinking, I could have had it. I got one hand, one good hand on it.
Cole did have a pick six a year ago with the Texans. And now 3rd down and 12.
You got to watch the open edges, and do you allow J.J. Watt or Clowney to have those open edges and come off of these edges? That can be tough on your pass blockers.
Here comes one, and down goes Bortles.
You know, we talked about that right arm not feeling great, Andrew. You get a sack, and all of a sudden that adrenaline just pumps through the body. The right arm, the left arm, the hips, everything is feeling good on J.J. Watt right now.
They give him half a sack along with Merciless. And this punt and play blown dead. So that means that it's the 4th time in Watt's
There's no foul in
career.
the play. Jacksonville quick snap the football. We will reset the clock and the play.
4th time in Watt's career, he's had at least 15 sacks in a season. The only player to do that more times in NFL history, Reggie White. He did it 5 times. And as Watt told us Friday, every time I have some milestone, it's always Reggie White who's there. But to Watt, that means a lot. Grew up in Wisconsin, always was following Reggie White. And now only White has more 15-plus sack seasons than J.J. Watt. Carter on the return. Carter slips some tackles, and there he goes. Across midfield and dragged down by Quinton Meeks. Nice return from DeAndre Carter. And the Texans still comfortably in front.
You could take the treatment of your ulcerative colitis in a different direction. Talk to your doctor about Xeljanz, a pill, not an injection or infusion, for adults with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis. Xeljanz is the first and only FDA-approved pill for moderate to severe UC. It can reduce symptoms in as early as 2 weeks, improve the appearance of the intestinal lining, and provide lasting steroid-free remission. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened. treatment, as have tears in the stomach or intestines, serious allergic reactions, low blood cell counts, higher liver tests, and cholesterol levels. Don't start Xeljanz if you have an infection. Your doctor should perform blood tests before and while taking Xeljanz and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you've been somewhere fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. You could take your UC treatment in a different direction. Ask your gastroenterologist about Xeljanz.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, Aaron, I know this stings, but defense wins championships, and we're defending your truck now, so State Farm, you can pack those khakis and go.
Who's protecting my house?
Should I unpack my khakis?
No, you keep those khakis packed.
Alexa, dim the lights.
Okay. Oh, no, Dad, I need your help.
What have you done?
Burnt the duck.
That's a duck? What do you have in that cabinet?
Some spaghetti.
Okay, chop up some garlic. Your mom cooked duck for me once.
Did she burn it?
Of course she did.
Of course she did.
Now it's beautiful. There you go.
How do I look?
Perfect.
Thanks, Dad.
What's his name?
Dad. Alexa, hang up.
This Thursday, celebrating the new year with Big Bang is pure genius.
Oh, that is PH-delicious.
Then, will young Sheldon's twin become a genius of her own?
Would you like me to introduce you to algebra? Al who? Oh boy.
Don't miss a new young Sheldon right after a new Big Bang Theory, CBS Thursday.
Deshaun Watson remains the Texans quarterback with 9:11 to go, fourth quarter. They lead it by 17 points and looking to throw on first down. Watson firing, and was that picked off? Ramsey? He's got it. What a play by Jalen Ramsey. Hopkins has won the matchup today against Ramsey, but Ramsey fighting back here with this incredible catch.
Remember earlier we saw the play where he didn't go with him across the field. All turnovers are reviewed. This ball looks like it comes out.
We will review the previous play.
No, he didn't get it.
Still a terrific break on the ball by Jalen Ramsey after Hopkins wanted to get that crossing route. Watson wanted to throw deep. He came back to the short route, and Ramsey makes a pass breakup, not an interception.
Incomplete.
Yeah.
The immediate signal on the field was catch, but obviously after seeing the replay, you can tell he did not bring that one in. Credit to Ramsey. He really tried to sell that one by running towards the sideline, but that didn't work. We met with Jalen for a while last week in Miami before their game against the Dolphins. He said he wants a contract extension, wants to play his entire career for the Jaguars. He said there's something legendary about that, as Lamar Miller has the carry. He pointed to Patrick Peterson, who's played his entire career with Arizona. And as Jalen said, my foundation, Ramsey's reach, has really grown in the Jacksonville community. I would hate to see that end, and I want to be here. But he did acknowledge it's a business, and it's rare to play for one team your entire career.
And when he looks around the locker room, especially on the defensive side, he sees championship-level defense. And he's looking at Calais Campbell, he's looking at Ngakoue, he's looking at Miles Jack, Kelvin Smith, and he says, these are building blocks that if we can do some stuff on offense, we can get back to where we were last year.
On 3rd and 7, Watson, pressure coming. Watson hit hard and still completes it. Did Akins hold on? No, now they're saying incomplete. And Watson is hunched over. James, we've been saying this all half. I don't know why you put Watson in position to take these big hits.
Catch 1, 2, know that ball's coming out before he goes to the ground. Like you say, if you're going to throw the ball down the field, you're going to take some hits. You got some guys who are blitzing, who are coming untouched. And Ngakoue's looping around, the same thing that you do with Clowney. So it's really interesting. Both these quarterbacks are facing the same amount of pressure. Watson's been more productive because he's been able to use his arm and his legs.
Westbrook, fair catch at the 11. NFL Today update. Here's JB and Boomer.
Good news, bad news in Pitt. Yeah, you're talking about legendary Andrew. There's Antonio Brown. He leads the NFL in receiving TDs. He is inactive for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The good news for them is they get James Conner back at running back as they get ready for a 425 kick against the Bengals.
AB borrowed Andrew Catalon's coat, huh?
Yeah. Back to Andrew.
Yeah, I lent it to him since he wasn't playing today, JB. How about Watson? He's been sacked 62 times this season, tied for the 5th most in a season in NFL history. He's tied with Ken O'Brien and our pal Steve Berline, who's calling the Bills-Dolphins game right now on CBS. So
I don't think Berline had 500 yards rushing in the season he was sacked 60-plus times.
A little different as Moncrief brings that one in at the 30. And lunges up ahead to the 32-yard line. He also saw Watson's been hit 11 times today. Tough kid, we all know that. But again, Bill O'Brien has to be balancing getting his team ready to play next week with also making sure everyone's available to play next week. And Shark, yikes, incomplete. That play by Moncrief was a 22-yard pickup. That was the longest play today by the Jacksonville offense.
When you miss easy completions on first down, you put the stress on your offensive line. Second down, you put the stress on the play caller. Does he go to a draw? Does he try and run a screen? And all of those things are what those linebackers are going. They're going, watch the screen, watch the draw, because the 4 guys up front are all trying to get after the quarterback.
2nd and 10. Bortles pump fakes, now fires, completes it to Cole, who races up ahead across midfield. A gain of 19 yards for Keelan Cole.
So 4-man rush, time in the pocket. You'll allow Keelan Cole to work a little bit. He goes up to Sharice Wright like he's going to almost run into him. Darts inside. Now, are you going to dial up some pressure? You're going to bring some extra guys up front to get after Blake Bortles.
Bortles, deep shot to Cole. He was open for a moment, but Bortles overthrows him. Well, sometimes the past has a way of moving in with you. Don't miss the new comedy, Fam. Series premiere Thursday, January 10th, only CBS.
You know, I can attest to that. That happens to empty nesters. You think the kids are gone, they circle back around, and they come right back.
And this has been a rough day in Jaguars franchise history, which is 106 yards. 2nd and 10. Bortles to Cole again. And Cunningham there for the stop after a pickup of 7. And 7 minutes to go on the clock.
Bortles and this Jaguars offensive line picking up the tempo, trying to make sure that the defensive linemen stay gassed, that they don't have time to recover a lot in between plays. They've had some success throwing the ball. Clowney and Watt both on the outside coming off these edges.
It's 3rd down. Bortles steps up, has a running lane. He'll take it and slide down with a first as McKinney was closing quickly. If you're just joining us, Blake Bortles, very candid in our production meeting last night, telling us that in his gut, he'd imagine he's playing his final game in a Jacksonville uniform with so much speculation that he'll be cut free after the year. Bortles to Shark, it's broken up. Kareem Jackson got a hand on that one. What do you think the future is for Blake Bortles, James?
Well, he's had the ability that everybody's been able to see. Sometimes decision-making can be questionable, but I don't know if he's ever had those really great #1 receivers around him, guys to throw to. They had a running game with Leonard Fournette that didn't pan out this year. He lost his left tackle. There's some talent that everybody saw coming out of Central Florida that's still there, and there's certainly a lot of toughness in this kid, too.
Doug Malone said that's his greatest characteristic, his toughness. Another deep shot. Cole tripped, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Andre Howell. His 3rd interception of the season. And what a season it's been for Andre Howell, who this week was named the Texans winner of the Ed Block Courage Award. Back in the spring, he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, declared cancer-free in September. As Bill O'Brien told us Friday, we just assumed that he wouldn't be able to play until the 2019 season, but Howell continued to fight, always believed he'd be back this year. And now in his 8th game, he That's his third interception of the season. He's been a big part of that secondary for Houston since returning.
He really has that leadership ability that players have. And when he's battling something that a lot of players don't even want to think about, here he is at the facility every day, lifting weights, working out, doing all the little things. And then he gets to come back, and it just lifts everybody around him.
So 6:02 on the clock. And it's a flip to Carter. Carter across the 30-yard line.
You know, Carter had run that little motion maybe a dozen times so far in the ballgame. And he kept wondering, when are they going to run me in that motion and finally flip me the ball? Because every time I run around the edge, there's nobody there. Texans should be taking as much time off the clock in between plays as possible, trying to lengthen this out a little bit. You see the play clock down to 10, maybe 5 seconds when you get ready to snap it.
You would think that just hand the ball off, as Jacksonville has shown no indication that they can score any points on offense today, which is 119 yards of offense. Deshaun Watson should just hand this one off and get out of the way. Watson 21 of 31 for 206 yards passing, also 62 yards rushing and a touchdown run for the Texans quarterback. He's keeping it himself. It'll go out of bounds, pushed out by Jack. Man, they're playing with fire here, James.
Well, if the conventional thinking is they're going to run the ball in between the tackles, they're going to hand it off, you're trying to outguess the defense a little bit. And probably in Deshaun Watson's ears, Bill Bryant has said, we're going to run this quarterback keep to the left. If it's not there, make sure you run all the way out of bounds and don't get a hit. So you give the quarterback those extra instructions so that he can keep himself safe.
3rd and 6. You could also call a handoff. That would keep him safe. He's keeping it again, rolling right, throws on the run, and it's complete for a first down. Vincent Smith reels it in front of Trey Herndon.
Kind of a little bit of mission accomplished. I was watching Bill O'Brien on the sideline. He looked at his play sheet, then he looked up at the clock. He said, okay, now the clock's in our favor again. We have the ball. Let's work this slowly, because what you're trying to do as a head coach is to make sure that you give your team every chance to win. Obviously, next week, and the healthier players are important, but you want to extend this game as much as you can to keep your offense on the field.
Hand off to Lamar Miller, and Nick DeLuca makes the tackle. So as the Texans move closer to a division title, with the New England win, they cannot get the 1 seed. They could still get the number 2 seed if you see the right part of that number 2 seed. If they win, which they're about to, and both Kansas City and the Chargers lose, they would also have to clinch the strength of victory over Kansas City.
Now, is that strength of victory just looking good winning? Is that what that is? Or
well, there's a number of ways they can do it. In fact, if the Dallas Cowboys beat the Giants right now in the 1 o'clock game, they would have the strength of victory over the Chiefs. But it's a lot to ask the Raiders to go into Arrowhead later today on CBS, and also to have the Chargers lose to Denver. So unless those things happen, you're looking at the Texans being the number 3 seed and then hosting one of their divisional rivals in the wild card round next weekend, the winner of tonight's Tennessee-Indianapolis game, a game where it appears Marcus Mariota might not be able to play because of injury. It would be Blaine Gabbert who would get the start for the Titans at home. Watson throwing, and Hopkins with the catch. And this year, the Texans split their 2 games against the Titans, and they also split their 2 games against the Colts.
With all of that being said, if we win, they lose, the other teams lose, the strength of victory, within the Texans building this week, it was all about just this game, going out, playing our best football of the year, winning this one game, and a little bit, Bill O'Brien setting up what other teams are going to have to look at, with Deshaun Watson being really active as a runner and having to defend that in the coming weeks.
that is caught for a first down by DeAndre Carter. So on that last catch, a number of things happens before. On the catch by Hopkins, he just became the all-time leader in most catches through the first 6 seasons of a career, passing Antonio Brown. Also, 12 catches today. That's a new career high for Hopkins. And he now has 115 catches on the year, which is tied for the most in a season in Texans history, along with Andre Johnson. And he has won the matchup with Ramsey today.
He really has. Ramsey came out with a good play early, and you can see how physical these two are against each other. And really what I like here is this run after the catch. Don't like the fact that he doesn't tuck the ball away, but that's being old school right there, because even though he's swirling it around, he never drops it, never fumbles very often. And this is a matchup that a lot of people came in here to watch. I saw people buying popcorn before they got ready to sit down. And really, if you're a Texans fan, you're really impressed with Hopkins.
In the first matchup back in week 7, and those two were on each other, Hopkins only had 3 catches. And that was a season low. Today, 12 catches for 147 yards. Deshaun Gibson jumped offside as Miller runs right up the middle.
Offside, number 39, defense, 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Stay tuned for the NFL Today update delivered by Pizza Hut. That's time permitting. Join JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. .335 to go. Here's Miller. Avery Jones on the tackle, along with Calais Campbell. Jaguars have a number of decisions to make coming up in the offseason. Doug Marrone, there's been some speculation about him. Will he or won't he be back? Sounds like they're going to have a new quarterback, as Blake Bortles told us last night. He envisions not playing for Jacksonville anymore, even though he still wants to. He thinks he's going to get cut. They have a hole at offensive coordinator as they fired Nathaniel Hackett 5 games ago. And they have some decisions to make on defense. I think Jackson probably not coming back. How about Watson running the football on second down and 4?
You know, you're talking about all those decisions that you have to make if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars. One of the toughest areas to tread into is when you're talking to high-priced veteran players. Will you take a pay cut? Because all of a sudden, the player doesn't think rationally. Pride gets into the way, and you know, I was supposed to make $14 million. You're offering me $8.5. I'll go somewhere else, and all of a sudden, somewhere else never opens up. And all of a sudden, he's trying to make a return phone call to the team later, a couple months later. So it can really get tricky. You've got to approach these players the right way.
Miller. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes away from the Texans winning the division for the 3rd time in the last 4 years.
I'm part of the Chevy family.
We're part of the Chevy family, too.
And we'd like you to join us as we kick off the new year.
That's why our Chevy employee discount is still available to everyone.
The Chevy price you pay
is what we pay, and not a cent more.
It's our way of saying Happy New Year.
Use your employee discount for everyone to get a total value of $12,500 on this Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. The Chevy employee discount for everyone ends soon.
Seriously, what is this? New Listerine Ready tabs aren't gum, mints, or marbles. If you guessed they're tabs that turn into liquid as you chew, so you can swish and clean your whole mouth instantly, then you were correct. And that was a really good guess. Nice job.
Look at that. Oh! You notice everything down here.
Yeah, these seats are ridiculous.
I feel like I could probably be in the NBA.
What?
Look, if I had a solid month and a half, I think that I could be a real NBA player. Maybe I come off the bench.
You should do it.
I think I can do it.
You should do it.
I'm gonna get drafted at 40.
So 10 years ago? Oh! This dude is on fire. Oh, man.
A wealth of information. A wealth of perspective. A wealth of opportunities. That's the clarity you get from Fidelity Wealth Management. Straightforward advice, tailored recommendations, tax-efficient investing strategies, and a dedicated advisor to help you grow and protect your wealth. Fidelity Wealth Management.
Bud Lights for everyone.
I prefer an ice mead.
Barkeep, Bud Lights for everyone and a mead.
Is it autumnal?
Bud Light, for the many, not the few.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, reminding you not to drink and ride your horse. And by Pizza Hut, official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
Texans went 4-12 a year ago, last place in the division, now 2 minutes away from 11-5 and division champions. And looking at a playoff game at home next weekend, unless they can sneak up to the number 2 spot in the AFC with a lot of help later on today. While we have a moment, I want to thank the executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Harold Bryant. The president of CBS Sports is David Burson. Today's game was produced by Steve McKee and directed by Andy Goldberg. The vice president of remote production of CBS Sports is Steve Karasik. The vice president of studio production is Tyler Hale. The NFL Today is produced by Drew Kaliski and directed by Bob Matina. The creative director of CBS Sports is Peter Radovich Jr. The associate directors of today's game, they've done a great job all year long, Bill O'Brien and Justin Haley. Also our broadcast associates, Jelani Rooks and Rachel McNair. The technical manager is Dean Walker. The production manager is Andres Torres. The technical director, Tom Colts. Audio, Patrick Thornton and Victor Victoria. Stats, a huge thank you to Mike Notaro and Chad Fisher. And our spotter is John Lou McCarthy. Final minute of the fourth quarter. And there's so many other men and women on our crew that don't get a chance to say their name, unfortunately, but we do want to know that we are so grateful for all of your hard work this season. It's been a phenomenal year on our NFL on CBS crew and a phenomenal season for the Houston Texans. A big bounce back after a disappointing 2017. Bill O'Brien calls timeout. He's about to go to 8-2 against the Jaguars since taking over as Texans head coach. 0-3 did not look good for the Texans at the beginning of the year. Tough losses at New England, at Tennessee, and then home against the Giants. But they won 9 in a row after that. Bill O'Brien was able to keep it all together. And now a team that certainly with this offense, James, and the way they get after the quarterback on defense, can make some noise in the playoffs. And
you mentioned those 9 games that they won in a row. They won back-to-back games to start that run in overtime. So a lot of a nervousness in the beginning of the season, but kind of kicked it into overdrive once they got going.
Now 4th and 1, Watson looking to throw. And he connects with Jordan Thomas. Jaguars might file that one away for next year.
Yeah, but you know, you're 4th and 1. You're trying to stay on the field. You know, could you have given a little wink to Doug Marrone on the other side and said, let us just run a quarterback sneak, and so you don't have to trot your offense out there.
And now they can take a knee. Hopkins 12 catches, 147 yards. Deshaun Watson 66 yards rushing and a touchdown. And the Houston Texans are division champions. They go from worst a year ago to first in 2018 as they beat the Jaguars 20-3. Hey. The 92 Chargers, the only other time a team started 0-3 and then went on to win the division. take a look at the playoff picture. The New England game not final yet, but they're up big on the Jets. Will give them the win at 11-5. Houston now, division champs, 11-5. They can no longer get the 1 seed, but there is still a chance later today. The Texans, if the Chiefs and Chargers lose and Houston wins the strength of victory tiebreaker against Kansas City, could get the number 2 seed. But in all likelihood, you're looking at next week, Texans as the 3 seed against the wild card winner between the Colts and Titans. That's coming up tonight. Final score, Houston 20, Jacksonville 3. For James Lofton and Jay Feely, this is Andrew Catalan saying so long from Houston. The Texans are division champions, an 11-5 record. As we send it to James Brown in New York for the NFL Today update delivered by Pizza Hut.
Andrew, we take you to the contest between the Jets and the Patriots with 109 and counting left. Patriots are en route to securing a first-round bye with the shot still at home.